Good morning, everyone. A very warm welcome to all the parents for this orientation program. At the outset, we would like to congratulate you for your awards promotion to Class 9. The main objective of this program is to familiarize you, the partners in progress, with curriculum, assessment details, as your wards move into the most important years of school education. The school believes in effective communication between parents and teachers right from the beginning of the academic year to build a strong connection for a glorious future. Let me introduce you to our coordinator, Dr. Sanjay Kumar. Sir is here. Sir.
Good morning, everyone. We welcome you, all the parents, on behalf of Salman team. Thank you so much for joining. Over to Meeraman.
Okay. Good morning. Vice Principal ma'am is also here. Ma'am, over to you.
Yeah, good morning to all the parents and a very heartiest welcome to all the parents to this orientation program. And Meera ma'am is going to give you a complete brief into the program. But I just would like to say one thing that students, they will be coming on campus after attending throughout year their classes were happening online. So now this is going to be the on campus mode, and every phase in the life, even pandemic has taught so many things to our learners. So I'm sure when they'll be coming on campus, so they will be having the enhanced knowledge of what they have learned during the pandemic. And moving to class ninth is like they come to the senior classes. This is the age where they start thinking about what kind of stream they all will be taking, and students, they develop the liking for different kinds of subject. So accordingly, students, they need to be very punctual in attending the classes. They need to be very punctual in doing all the assignments. They need to be very serious about their studies, so that whatever future they are looking forward, I think ninth onwards students, they start thinking in that direction. And further, how the year is going to be, that Miss Meera is going to apprise you. And once again, welcome to dear parents. Thank you so much. And Meera ma'am, it's over to you.
Okay. Principal ma'am is also here. Warm welcome, ma'am. Very good morning once again, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Miriam and Coordinator and Vice Principal. Thank you, parents, for joining us for this orientation. I believe, Miriam, you will go through the presentation first.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Then
ma'am.
I will be addressing them. All right, please. Thank you.
Shall I proceed, ma'am? Because about 100 parents have joined. Shall I proceed? Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Our school's motto is service before self. In the words of Mahatma Gandhi, the best way to find yourself is to serve others. The joy lies in giving and sharing rather than receiving. That's been our motto, and our logo, the rising sun, symbolizes the emergence of the light of knowledge, dispelling the darkness of ignorance. Excellence is a potential chiseled into a perfect state through vision, dedication, and determination. The school's mission: we are committed to the personal excellence of each student, imparting holistic education enriched with high moral values in a competitive learning environment. Our vision is based on innovative learning methods, unwavering commitment to academics, continuous improvement, and cultivation of life skills. Um, a big thank you to all the parents right at the outset, because your continuous support during this unprecedented times, especially arranging the laptops, fixing the cameras, increasing the bandwidth of your internet services, creating a classroom back home, coordination of the pre and the post content with your boss regularly must have been really challenging for most of you. Thank you once again for your unconditional support. A big thank you to our dear children. We call the health workers as warriors. The teachers are also called as warriors. But then I would like to say that children are also great warriors this time, because confined within the four walls, their lives changed completely overnight. They sacrificed months of playing outside, playing, with friends, playing pranks inside and outside the classrooms. And they made every effort to comprehend the concepts taught from the warmth of the classrooms. So they shouldered all the responsibilities during online classes, and they emerged as independent learners. So thank you, children, for being there always. Um, the next role of a parent. While parents possess the original key to their offsprings and experience, teachers have a spare key to open or close the minds and the hearts of the children. So the role of a parent, a teacher, and the student, it's like a triangle. So each of us will have to put in our best effort to bring out the best in every child. So provide encouragement. Please, learning is their journey. Let them navigate, push them to explore, watch them discover, encourage their questions and support their thinking. So completely, the encouragement, motivation is important. Only then the children will be able to give their best efforts, put in their best efforts. Then regular monitoring. It's just not that, they have become independent learners. Monitoring is very important for them right from, the beginning of the academic year, because 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th are most crucial years of their lives. So regular monitoring, constantly finding out what is happening in school, getting in touch with the class teachers, getting in touch with the subject teachers, they are very, very important, because you will exactly know what the children are doing in school. So sending your wards to school regularly, that's very important, because 80% of your problem will be solved if you send your wards regularly to school, and if they pay attention in the class, because they are exposed to the first bit of knowledge, whatever the teacher is teaching, they'll be exposed to the concept clearly, they'll be able to understand it. Once they go back home and they revise, everything will fall in place for them. So devote more time. If you don't have so much time during the weekdays, you can devote more time during the weekends, and remind the students of all the COVID norms now and then. The most important factor now, the offline classes have started and is going on fine right now. Children are happy to come back to school, parents are happy. So, but please ensure that all the COVID norms like social distancing, wearing the mask is very important. Please give lunch, tell them not to share the lunch with anybody. Ensure that they carry all the stationery items so that they don't share anything. So all these things, please keep reminding them now and then, because that's very, very important in this scenario. Role of a student, again, attending classes regularly is very important. COVID norms, we keep telling them in class every now and then to follow whenever the dispersal time, is there. We ensure that, they don't walk in groups. And self-discipline. Discipline is important in all walks of life. So self-discipline is very, very important. Cultivating, the habit of studying on a day-to-day basis is very important for them. Right from the beginning, if they do it, they won't feel the stress, just before the exams. Then completing all homework assignments in time, not procrastinating things, or maybe, not delaying things, or keeping it to the weekend. So then and there, if they complete all the homework and the assignments, they'll be able to keep in pace with whatever that's going on in class. Time management, another important factor for all the students. They have to learn to finish their tasks well within the time. That's very important. And devoting time for self-study. In class 9th or class 9th upwards, a lot of application-based questions are there. So unless they make, an effort to understand the concepts themselves after paying attention in the class, taking down the small notes and all those that the teacher says in the class, they will not be able to understand anything back home. So self-study, understanding the concept so that they are able to attend or attempt all the application-based questions is very, very important. On-campus online class schedule, hybrid learning, there's blended learning right now in class 10. About 50% of the students come to school, they take offline classes, 50% attend online classes. So it's a live relay of whatever that's happening in the classes taking place right now for class 10. And so that the children are abreast with whatever that's happening in the class. And if they have any doubts when they come to offline classes, they clarify it. So it's going smoothly right now, and is I think that's the way that will be the way forward at the moment, looking at the way the pandemic is again increasing. Assessment policy for class 9, more or less the same as that of class 8. The only difference is in the second term, periodic test for 40 marks, which will be sometime in the month of in May, from 3rd May to 21st May, and portfolio, 5 marks are allotted for that. And subject enrichment activity will take place both in the first term and in the second term. Portfolio also will be in the first term and the second term. So portfolio is classwork plus achievements of the student in the subject. And subject enrichment activity, as it's mentioned here, it consists of aspects like practical work for science, lab work for maths, map work and project work for social science, listening and speaking skills for languages, etc. These are subject-specific application activities. They aim at enrichment of the understanding and the skill development. These activities are to be recorded internally. They are recorded internally by the respective subject teachers. Then the first term will be half-yearly exam in the month of September, and then PT1 will take place in the month of May, and PT2 will be the pre-final exam. This is where there's a huge difference as compared to class 8. In class 8, people generally, your students will be taking a 40-mark PT exam, but here it will be a complete pre-final exam, which will be a 80-mark full-length paper in the month of December. So syllabus will be almost completed by October, or maybe by maximum by November. So the children will have time in the first and second week of December to completely revise the syllabus, and it will be a precursor to the final examination. So sort of a diagnostic test, so they can actually find out where their mistakes are, and overcome those problems for the final examinations, which will take place in the month of February. Okay. Attendance is mandatory for all the assessments. Maximum marks for each subject, students will have to secure 33% marks out of the overall 20 marks earmarked in each subject for the internal assessment, which is 20 marks. Periodic test, 10% or 10 marks weightage will be taken. Subject enrichment will be 5 marks. Portfolios will be 5 marks, and the total of 20 marks, and 80 marks will be the written examination. So 80 plus 20 will be together 100 marks for every subject. Assessment of post-scholastic areas also, that's also a very important aspect in the report card. Work experience, art education, health and physical education, and discipline. They're all marked in A to E grades. Discipline, the criteria for assessing discipline is attendance, regular attendance, sincerity towards the school work in school, and how the child is progressing in studies as well, and behavior towards the school property, towards the teachers, and the values that they have imbibed, and they show it in the school. Discipline significantly impacts career shaping, and it helps building character. Sincerity, good behavior and values develop strength. They foster unity and cooperation. Therefore, they are introduced by CBSE. Rules and regulations you're already aware of. Just a very quick recap of that. Please ensure that you fill in your personal and medical data of your ward in the school almanac. It's very important for the class teacher to know if they are taking regular medicines or anything. The student must carry almanac to school every day, and student identity card is must. It is mandatory to carry the parent identity card while the parents visit the school. Entry inside the school premises will be permitted only showing the parent ID card. Child must come to school on time. Punctuality is very important. Child should come in proper school uniform. 75% attendance mandatory. Though CBSE says 75%, I would recommend that you send your wards very, very regularly to school. Second and fourth Saturdays are off for the students. First and third and the fifth Saturdays will be working. The most important aspect of this particular presentation is focus on application-based questions. There is a complete shift, in the question paper pattern since last year. More of application-based questions, almost 50% MCQs are asked in almost every subject, and more so in languages. Revised curriculum places emphasis on application-based high-order thinking skill questions, open-ended questions, where it is just not important, if the child understands the concept. They have to learn to apply it in real-life situations as well. It's not enough if the child knows what is convex mirror or what is concave mirror. They should know which sort of mirror is more applicable for, the rear view mirrors in cars and in motorcycles. So likewise, more application-based questions are asked in from classes 9 upwards. So understanding of the concept and applying it in real life situation is very important. The number of MCQs has increased. In languages is almost 50%. So even in languages, just not understanding the story on a superficial level is is not going to help anyone. Profound understanding, deeper understanding of the story, extrapolate questions are asked, open-ended questions are asked. So child has to, learn, read, revise a number of times, and take a deep, depth of understanding. Comprehension is very, very important. Self-study and regular revision of the lessons taught is imperative. Rote learning will not be effective. Making notes, some of the ways, these are the study skills, because each subject needs a different way to study. Making notes regularly, highlighting keywords, writing down the value points are some of the ways to enhance the understanding of the chapters. So with this, I come to the end of the presentation. Over to Principal Ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Meera ma'am, and warm welcome once again, dear parents. And I'm very sure the students also must be watching us right now. As far as the class 9 is concerned, you all are aware that is actually the shift, a big shift, from middle sections to the senior sections. And dear parents, this is very, very essential you to understand that the first few months of class 9 will set the pace for the rest of the schooling of your ward. Now, what exactly in the school we look for? In middle section, you must have seen that we were trying to give most exposures, whatever was possible, whether it was through SUPW activities or it was through, the content of the subjects. But when the child comes to class 9, the academic becomes a little bit more stronger. Okay, the syllabus is going to increase. The child will initially feel a little burdened. I'm not very sure. It depends from child to child. But then when you'll see in the first few months, the child may say that, okay, the things are becoming tougher, especially the average and below average children, and especially the children who have now the learning gaps due to the COVID time, due to the online classes. We have been telling you that the child has to be regular in the class. At least the child should understand and do self-study during the day. But if your child has not got into this routine as of yet, this is the right time when you have to put your children into a proper routine. Because if there is no proper routine, I'm sorry, you will be then stressed and your child also will be stressed in the rest of the schooling years. So the first and the foremost suggestion which I would be giving all of you is that you ensure whether something is being taught or not in the class, it doesn't matter. If a teacher is sitting in the class, maybe the class teacher is sitting or a subject teacher is sitting, let the child be with the teacher. Because this is the time, the first 10, 15 days, even a month, the April month basically, will help the child to set the tone, the child will understand how to, start preparing for absorption of the concepts, right? Because as Meera ma'am rightly told you, that CBSE has revamped the testing system in class 9. So the foundation will be laid in class 9. Okay, class 10 testing system in both classes, CBSE has changed. So we have to create the foundation class 9, and that change is nothing but application-based questions. The questions from their real life situations, right? So the child should be able to connect the concept taught in the class to the application-based questions, and then only the child will be able to excel in the board exams. So for that, we will be preparing the children, right from the beginning, from day one. And as you've been already told that how the examination, or rather I should say assessment, will be done in the entire year. Please ensure that your ward sits for that assessment honestly. Because the assessment is not for the child, the assessment is for actually us. As I always tell all of you, that whenever we see the assessment, whenever we see the answer sheet of a child, whenever we see the marks list of a particular class, we are actually assessing our own proficiency in teaching learning. Right. So fortunately, we are allowed to open the school from class 1 onwards, but then looking at the spike in the cases, we thought that, okay, let's do it in parts. So obviously we have our 10th and 12th coming here on campus in staggered way. The similar way 9th also will come, and from July 11th will come because the board exam will be finishing in June. So be rest assured, the number of children on campus are going to be very, very few. All right. And on top of it, what we are doing is we are dividing the section into two parts. So that means if there are 30 students in a section, so only 15 will be coming on campus on a particular day. So staggered manner means, like, for example, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, one batch will come. Then Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, the other batch will come. All right. Now, what is going to happen? You'll say, ma'am, is the syllabus is going to be repeated in all the 2 days? No, the syllabus is going to be happening in a sequential manner. The only difference would be that the child who's coming on campus is sitting in the class and taking the content, and the child who's sitting at home is connecting through Zoom. Okay, so the teacher is actually catering to both the batches together. So syllabus will be properly taken up. So you don't worry about that particular point. And then, the child will be having some doubts. Maybe when the child is taking online class, the child might be having some doubts. So the child can note down all those doubts and come down next day when his or her turn comes, and he or she can ask the teacher before the teacher starts the next session. Of course, there will be breaks in between the periods so that, the Zoom connectivity can be done by the other subject teacher. So 5-10 minutes break would be there. But then to tell you how actually it is working in our school is that obviously your ward is getting shifted to C block. So we have created some bubbles in the sense that your ward, right from the gate, when he is or she is coming inside the C block, we know exactly where the child will go. Okay. Also, we are fixing the seats for the children. We are not allowing them to shift the seats. Okay. So when your ward comes in, he or she comes and sits in her class, goes to the class, sits in her seat, on her seat, and then take the class and then move back. So there is not much of the movement going on, and there is enough distance between the two students. So be absolutely rest assured, the only thing which we want help from you is that the child should have a proper mask on. And initially, we had some children who complained that, okay, I'm not able to, breathe because the entire day I can't have mask. So we already have the reduced timings on this in the school campus also. So we had advised them, and we'll be orienting them also on first day. So don't worry about that. We actually allow them to go to the ground, take off their masks, breathe, deeply, and then come back. And then you have to help the child out by, providing them with different types of masks. Whichever mask the child is feeling comfortable sitting, please give that particular mask to the child. And because the heat is also rising, so it has to be a cotton fabric. So just be sure of that. And then, of course, you have to ensure that the child is bringing enough water, enough food to eat, because we don't have our canteen open and we don't allow our children to go out. All right. So be absolutely rest assured. We've been working since January here. The entire team is on campus. We are taking care of all the kids who are coming on campus, and we are helping them out. Now, all the assessments are going to happen on the campus. I'm keeping my fingers crossed that COVID should be taken care of, because we have vaccination drive is going on full speed. Hopefully things will be improving by July onwards. But initially, as I told in the beginning, dear parents, please do send your ward to the school so that the ward, because the ward is changing the entire level. From B block, the child is coming to C block. There will be new teachers, there are new concepts, there are new way of, learning. And one caution I'll give you, that please do not put your child in tuitions. The reason being that it's an internal assessment here in the school, and the more the child is dependent on the school teachers, the more easy for the child would be to sail through class 9. And then, of course, we are looking for independent learners and leaders in the children. So please ensure that the children are taking up all the content. They're trying to understand the entire concept on their own, unlike the middle classes, where they could, they had that thing in their mind that they will be promoted whether they clear a particular subject or not. Although we do give retests, but then, back of the mind, the child is relaxed. But if class 9 is not going to happen, in class 9, if a child is not able to clear the subjects, the child is repeating class 9. Okay, so be very, very careful about this. just slowly, steadily let the child, take it up on his or her own and become an independent learner. We are all here to help you out. We are all here to hold your hands and the child's hands, so that they can sail through the entire schooling thoroughly and properly. The other thing which you need to work on is that you have to, help us identify the inherent skills of your ward, the skills, the passions, which the child really feels connected to. You all are working, and you know that if you enjoy your work, your life is worthwhile, right? So this is the right time when we need to, explore the passions of the children, the skills of the children. We need to hone those skills and, ensure that the child makes career in those skills. Even if the child is not making career in those skills, it's absolutely fine, as the COVID has already taught us that we should always have a backup plan, right? So if your child, maybe is a good guitarist or is a good dancer, then he or she should actually excel in that as well. As they can take a career choice of something else. They can become a manager, or they can become, an IAS or a doctor or an engineer. That's a different thing. But if the child has a passion, or the child has a skill, that will really help the child in these kind of times. We all have seen that if we had a backup plan, we sailed through this COVID time easily. But if we do not have a backup plan and we only focus on one particular thing, and suddenly everything stopped, then we were absolutely clueless what to do, right? So if you want your child to grow up confidently, independently, and remain resilient, please ensure that your ward enrolls into some or other online course which is related to the skills. Okay, slowly, steadily, we will be making it mandatory for class 9th and 11th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, in fact, to have at least one skill-based certificate to get promoted to the next class. Okay, because we know that unless we make it mandatory, this will not happen. I have many students who have done some bakery course, There are some students who have done media course. They have some students who have done fashion technology course. It really, really helps the child, to have a backup in the future. So my request to all of you is that please ensure that by July, the child knows what he or she would be doing online. Or I would be really, really happy if the children can show me a certificate during the summer vacation. Okay, and do update us, because we will be recording it in our internal assessment marks. All right, so all the very best and congratulations for coming to class 9. We are alert on campus. Please be absolutely rest assured that there will be no issue. Obviously we are trying our best to ensure that there is no issue. The children are disciplined on the campus. Whosoever is coming, we have been seeing those batches, and they are caring about you all. So they do take precautions on campus, right? And of course, the entire team is there to support the children. And it is only going to be 3 days in a week for on-campus classes. So, and we will be empowering the students also, how to behave, how to, move around, what to do when they go back home. So these all things will be shared with them on the first day of the school when they'll come down. As far as the book sets and other things are concerned, we will not be allowing the crowd to come in, just because of the situation right now. So I'm requesting the book vendor to, allow you to buy it online. So the moment it gets on, we'll let you know. The other thing is, because the kids are coming on campus, they will also be allowed in a staggered manner to go down in the basement and take up the books and notebooks, whatever they require. All right. Similar thing for the uniform also. Please do not, get into a hurry of buying the things. We are absolutely fine. The first week and second week are devoted for these kind of things only. The children can come down, they can pick the things up. If you don't want to give cash to the students, we are absolutely fine, because the vendors have the option of Paytm and Google Pay, etc. So those things are already taken care of. So you don't have to worry about that. The only thing which you need to help us around is by ensuring that the child is regular to the classes. Okay, and then we'll keep meeting you in the classrooms also. and of course the Zoom classrooms as well as the on-campus classroom. The students will be meeting us. You will be taken care of on Zoom. And in case you have any further query, I'm sure you must be having a number of other queries about the timings, about everything. Then you know that you have been included in a group right now. It's a general group which the coordinator has created. We will be actually creating section-wise groups later. Okay, in 1 or 2 days, I believe they are still working on the shuffling. And once the shuffling is done, in case, I mean, I don't think there's a major shuffling happening. Mostly I think the sections will remain similar. But in case there is a shuffling happening, then please be rest assured it is for the best interest of your ward. And of course, the shuffle happens because of the choice which you'll give for the subject Hindi or Sanskrit. So those sections would be different, right? So the team is working on the shuffling. I hope by today evening, Sanjay ji, you will be able to do that. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Or latest by tomorrow afternoon we will do it, because as per languages also and other criterias also we are doing it, ma'am. But as you, ma'am, just said, for the best of the children and to give them the best.
All right, take care. So you do it nicely, and by tomorrow, dear parents, the sections will be allotted and you'll be included into groups according to the sections. And whatever queries you have, you can post in the groups. Otherwise, you can, I would request Sanjay ji, if you're sending a Google form for language, selection, then you please add on one query part also where they can write down whatever their queries are. There could be a query of transport. No, we are not starting the transport right away, but your ward can give a request to the class teacher. And, after 10 days, we'll see how many requests have come, and accordingly, we'll, have some routes running. We are not favoring hiring the transport from outside right now, because we will not have then control over the COVID situation, because the external conductors and drivers and IRs would be there, and we don't want our children to be put in risk. So the transport, if at all we run, we'll be running our own transport with our own drivers and conductors. And but yes, you will have to give us a consent for the same, a request for the same. So kindly get in touch with your class teacher, let your ward get in touch with the class teacher. So at least first 10 days, you arrange for dropping and picking up your ward. In case there is an issue, in case the requests are a particular number, which is sufficient to run a bus, we'll certainly start the bus. Yeah, so I don't think any further thing is required right now, but as and when the queries will keep pouring in, we will be taking it independently and individually, right? So thank you so much, parents, and God bless you all. May your ward shines brighter in 9th, 10th, and 11th, 12th. Thank you. God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Just one important point I just want to mention here is the hard copy of the medical certificate and the indemnity bond have to be submitted on the first day when the children come to school. A copy of the indemnity bond will be posted once the WhatsApp groups are created, and the medical certificate has to be 72 hours prior. That is, if you're coming on the 1st of April, and it's not, COVID certificate is not required, just the medical certificate mentioning that your child is fit and fine to attend the school. That's all. Thank you, ma'am. Any queries?
They won't be able to post queries here. They are raising their hands. You can note down the names of the parents who raised their hands. Okay. Along with that, please float a Google form wherein they can put in their queries and you handle them individually.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, ma'am.